listening to Marketing Evolved podcast with Jason Peterson, Holly Peterson, and Deidre Stevens. During this time, we bring you some of our current marketing stories and, as always, offer up a bit of our unsolicited advice for small and medium-sized businesses based on our industry expertise and knowledge. A little format rundown for those who have not listened to us before. Thank you for tuning in. So for those unfamiliar with our podcast format, we'll give you a quick refresh. Each segment is timed to make the best use of your time, topic, and prevent some of us from scurrying down the rabbit hole of Tangentland. This week, we have a very special guest, Jack Mitchell from L&K Today on KLIN. He sits down with the GenR8 team to not only go through stories of the week, but also a great interview. Okay, so I found an article from Business Insider last March 18th. The title is, "These are the brands that Gen Z shops at the most," according to a survey of more than 1,800 young Americans. So there are 15, but I'll read off the top 5. Can anyone guess the number, like any of them?
Well, first define Gen Z.
Ooh,
some people don't know
that.
What Gen Z
so
is.
Recently they surveyed 1,800 Americans between the ages of 13 and 21 to find out which clothing brands they shop at the most, because Generation Z is becoming a big focus in the retail space.
Sure.
Can anyone guess?
What are the ones that, so what are the stores that they shop at the most?
Yes. Or brands they shop.
We're too old.
Justice. I don't know. My daughter Lydia talks about Justice, and that's the place to be. But I don't know. Is that 13? I don't know. Not sure.
So there are 15, but the top 5. Number 5 is Old Navy. Number 4 is Vans. Number 3 is Adidas. Number 2 is Forever 21.
Okay.
And number 1 is Nike.
Okay.
So clearly athletic brands and fast fashion stores. I think that really correlates to that generation. But then my posing question to you guys, not only marketing, but just as a business, do you think business casual, that term, will shift because of this?
I think it already has shifted. I mean, I think about what I'm sitting here wearing now. I've got ripped jeans. I'm 40. I've got ripped jeans. I've got my Sanuk sandals on, and I've got like a baseball tee that's branded. I mean, ooh. I'd say it shifted. However, I pick what I'm going to wear each day based on who we see as a client. So I knew that we were doing a podcast today, and I didn't have any client meetings. So
I was really surprised by that list.
What surprised you? Because you're closer to that generation than we
Victoria's Secret. I thought Victoria's Secret would be much higher, but it was only like number 6 or 7.
You mean like the pink brand?
Well, Victoria's Secret as a whole. I mean, they've really shifted. Even Victoria's Secret brand has shifted. Pink totally dominates it.
Interesting. Because actually people are saying that Victoria's Secret is irrelevant because of the body types that they're still exploiting, essentially.
That too.
I've heard that, actually.
Okay. Men's opinions.
And Old Navy.
Jack, chime in. What do you think?
I got a 14-year-old son. I would have guessed the Nike and Adidas. I would have guessed Under Armour too. Yeah. I mean, that's all it is. That's 90% of
Under Armour was
90% of his stuff is. And now it might be different for a girl, but yeah, it's all athletic wear. Never wears jeans. He doesn't own jeans.
Interesting.
And so does anywhere. Almost always wearing athletic wear. So that doesn't surprise me that those are at the top at all.
Jason.
Well, I think you're talking about the business casual. I know when I started my career, because I looked so young, I wore ties all the time and stuff. Mm-hmm. And again, my dad grew up by watching him do the 3-piece suit thing. So to me, I don't know. I mean, on our end, I mean, those brands, again, don't surprise me. And from a biz cash perspective, I mean, again, I wear T-shirts and stuff like that, and it's based on clients. Yeah. I wear baseball caps now, but I think it's totally different. You know, I haven't seen my dad wear a tie to work in like 15 years now. So it's totally different as far as that goes. But as far as the kids' brands go, I agree. I mean, we haven't seen it as much with our kids yet because they haven't gotten into that as much. But I would say, though, the athletic stuff, I know, Jack, do you remember, like, when we were in junior high, I remember, though, like, remember the Nike pants, the ones that, like, had the elastic at the bottom? I do remember a period of time where, like, all the guys wore those. Yeah. And you, like, got them at Stacy's locker room. Do you remember that?
Do you remember when it was popular to wear, They had like boxer shorts, team boxer shorts that people would sew the fly up and wear them on the outside. That became like a really popular
That's
thing
right.
for a
I
year.
remember.
I forgot about that.
Yeah,
Yes,
like
I do
people would
remember
wear
that.
those. They were white. They were wearing underwear on the outside. People
Yeah.
are-
Strange.
I'm glad they're not doing that.
No.
Of course, I see people wearing pajama pants and slippers
Yeah.
to the grocery store or whatever.
You go to the donut shop on a Saturday morning about 8:30, and the disregard for the pants that you wear is just incredible.
Yeah.
It's actually comforting.
I don't know. I grew up when I was in high school, it was the yoga pants phase. Like,
I think it's still yoga
well,
pants.
I
I'm
mean,
pretty
like
sure.
the start of if it's appropriate to wear yoga pants or not.
Oh, yeah.
Like, do they cover your butt? You know.
And your favorite gaucho pants?
Yeah, that, okay, you know where you get gaucho pads? Justice. That Justice is like,
Well, they're making a comeback, kind of like Vans, because you named that brand too. And I noticed that Vans were popular like in the 90s, and now here they're having a resurgence again. The old school version of them too.
I'm just, when I
Like
think
Chucks.
of these brands though, I mean, I wouldn't even, I mean, Old Navy is kind of expensive. Vans is kind of expensive. Adidas is definitely expensive. Forever 21 is whatever. And Nike is expensive. Those are all expensive.
Yeah,
What
but these-
13 to
these-
21-year-olds have money to spend on a Nike pair of pants?
This is parental money.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, Jason, what is your topic of the week?
Well, I'm going to base it off of just the chatter I'm hearing from all of our clients, and this is just over and over again, but I want to open it and reiterate. Everybody, when you roll a website live, everybody is like, why is my site not showing up on Google? And it is the most common thing I've heard for the last 15 years, but it is crazy how people just think if you roll a website live, it's just going to automatically show up. And that's just not the way it works. So I just have to continue to remind people that it's all about you have to earn your reputation. Google's got to evaluate you and stuff. But
Maybe talk through the concept of how Google goes through the process of indexing your website.
Sure.
Because that's the biggest, I think,
Sure, that makes
pitch
sense.
that people run into.
Well, so again, where Google has changed, and I use this analogy all the time, it's kind of like the IRS. So they have this extreme stringent and sort of strict rules that are not really related to coding anymore. So part of it is we deal with that business listing. So that's kind of like your yellow page listings on Google. That's huge. We got to get that all flushed out. Now, once a site is live, there actually is a formal thing where Chelsea, our web developer, clicks a button and she submits it to Google. Now, Holly, of course, you deal with the paid search stuff. We know that Google sort of assigns what they call a quality score to a website, meaning, hey, you know what, based on Google's perception, this is a good website. And they really base it on the content. So, logically, sites that have been around for a longer period of time, typically have a little bit more, substance. They're going to be there longer. So you have to earn your reputation. It takes a while. So I always tell people, it's like it used to be you could cheat. You could hire some weirdo somewhere in a dark room and they could optimize your site. But again, I don't know what you guys are hearing and stuff, but my gosh, that's just, and I know, Jack, you and I have talked about this on the radio with you. It's just this never ending where it seems like what people have heard about with Google is always 2 years behind. It's never the update, but it's just, so the bad news is it's not instantaneous gratification, but the good news is if you're a legitimate, good, local, trusted resource and your site has good content, Google will like you over time, but you're going to have to update your site. Thoughts? What do you guys think?
Oh, I mean, what you're saying is true. I would say coming from the paid search perspective, it works a little bit differently. You talked about that concept of a low quality score. I look at this all the time. People get frustrated because keywords aren't matching up and they're not getting some of that love. One important thing to remember with Google is that as a business person who is advertising using AdWords on Google, you aren't their client. At the end of the day, they consider their client the actual person doing the search. So they want to reward them with good content. And so you can have a crazy awesome site, the coolest thing, looks amazing, but if you're taking people to your landing page and it's not addressing specifically what they're searching for, they're going to give you a low quality score. So yeah, you can have all of these amazing graphics on your homepage and all this great stuff, but if it's not addressing what that individual is searching for, even if you may provide that service or that product, but you're not addressing it and where you're sending them, they're going to say, yep, no thanks. We've got better sites for you. So that's something to think about as you're planning your website and as you roll it out there. If you have a new website, as Jason's talking about with the whole indexing thing, and it basically rating you or giving you the score, the quality score, just things to consider as far as content's concerned.
So Jack, when we talk about this and stuff, and as you hear small businesses and listeners stuff, like, what do you think, in terms of your listeners, how do they perceive how Google works?
Yeah, it's interesting. Well, it's even myself. I hear you talking about that, and I think I come in with the same assumption that a lot of your clients probably do, and that's that, well, I made a website, Google's going to find me now, right? And I'll automatically show up on searches because the website exists. And once again, it's kind of this... It's this important secret sauce that's out there that you don't quite know how it works. And there's probably a lot of people who are in the same boat with me. And I don't consider myself not savvy to some of these things, but I think I would be surprised in the same way if you were talking to me about my website and I said, "Wait, Jason, where's it at, man? We made this sweet website. I need, people are going to be Googling, radio station or whatever they are and looking for me. I'm not showing up." I think I would genuinely be surprised the same way that a lot of your clients are, and it just goes to show that you probably have a ton of people who don't realize what's going on exactly, and they're trying to optimize and make those things happen, and it's not happening for them.
Yeah, I mean, to me, the biggest thing that's changed, and I know for myself, and when we got into the paid search, which there's so many crazies that call clients to get and sell this service, but I never clicked on that stuff. So I just assumed, hey, nobody's going to do that. Now, I think what we learned over time, and it's not surprising, it's similar with Facebook, where the pay-to-play, they're always going to give you preference. They're going to give you more love if you pay versus the free. I would say the free part of Google has become very volatile and not very predictable. So, yeah, I mean, I think that is the thing. We've been fighting this. I've been fighting this my whole career, is how do you help people be educated and, again, have them trust you? Because there is so many people that, sell these SEO services. And how do you help them realize that, yeah, guess what? That stuff really doesn't happen, or that doesn't really work that way. So, but yeah, I mean, to me, it's just an ongoing, like I just say, it's kind of that thing I probably had 3 or 4 clients lately been asking me about that. And it's that it shocks them like crazy. And it's like, no, truthfully, I'm not kidding. If there was something I could do to just get you on page 1 within 2 weeks, I would do it.
And was there some kind of a sea change recently in terms of the way Google does things? And because I remember you and I talking about that.
Yes.
Not that I remember the detail of it, but I do remember discussing that part of it.
So there was a gentleman, the guy that basically more or less was in charge of the search recipe, fancy term, algorithm. He retired recently, so last year. So there's a much younger sheriff in town. And his thing last year at their big developers conference, he said, I quote, "I'm tired of people trying to impress Google." So their thing, and we talked about this, and it even makes my brain hurt, is this whole artificial intelligence side of thing. They're going to look at the site, as Holly mentioned, like it is the consumer. So they're evaluating it within context, within language, within layers and layers of much more sophistication than just a bunch of keywords. So to me, that is the biggest shift, is the dude that's in charge of moving Google's search recipe forward. Brand new dude, younger guy. And let's be honest, of any company that's out there that has more data than anybody, including Facebook, it's Google. So that is the crazy thing.
Yeah.
Artificial intelligence. All right.
I didn't hear your bell.
Yeah.
There we go. Next one.
All right, next topic is chatbots. So we get this question a lot from clients. Is it worth it to have a chatbot, to have someone manning this particular aspect of a website? There's lots of great tools out there and plugins for even things like WordPress sites. We've actually used them for clients in the past. So basically, chatbots, is it relevant to your business? Should you use one? How do they work exactly? So that's kind of what my topic is today. My take on chatbots is, yes, they're relevant. Yes, they can work fantastic, but it all depends on the influx of traffic you have on your website and who your customer is. So I personally would prefer to use a chat bot rather than calling someone on an 800 number, and I would just like my problem like addressed or just a question answered right then and there. So there are times where I'm on a website and a chat bot will pop up and I'll be like, yeah, whatever, get rid of it. But there are times where I legitimately can't find something, or I know that it's not going to be on the website, and I immediately type in my question or whatever for that individual. What do you guys think about chatbots?
I hate them.
Okay, so millennial, tell us about your...
I would rather pick up the phone. I hate chatbots. I think they're
Interesting.
stupid. I get now through my Facebook, if I've liked a brand and accept their chat, like I get chats from the brand.
Yeah, that feature that Facebook has put into place in the last 6 months.
I despise them. I think it's stupid. Like it really, or I guess I'm an email person too. Like if I really have a help question.
But okay, so you say they're stupid. What is stupid about them to you? I just need your perspective.
They pop up when I'm trying to shop,
so they're
and
annoying.
it's annoying.
It's annoying.
And
okay.
even when I've asked them questions, they still never answer my question.
Oh, really? Okay.
Oh, goodness,
I usually
no.
get resolution of whatever it is I chat about, so okay.
My take, Jack, what do you think of the online?
Well, I don't know if there's people behind it, or I don't know what it is. I don't know what I'm doing, who I'm communicating with, or what form of human or machine I'm communicating with.
Have you ever used one?
I think I probably have for a customer service. There's a customer service thing maybe, and I don't remember what specifically it was. But I think I have, but I think I'm a little bit hesitant to do that because I don't know, because I think it's probably something where I am going to be dealing with an inefficient process. Mm-hmm. Not that calling someone is an efficient process. For instance, have you ever DM'd with a cable company when your cable's out? I mean, it's got to be that'll always happen. I'll mention it. The basketball games weren't on the other day, and they're like, DM me, and we went through 50 DMs about, oh my gosh, I'm like, you guys. I'm advanced past the level you're helping me with, and I think sure. I wonder if that's sometimes I have some reluctance because I think I'm going to get that kind of help or assistance with that, and it's just not going to move fast enough for me. Yeah. That's probably my biggest reluctance.
Sure, makes sense.
So I have some I like and dislike. Okay, the one I like, I've dealt with Walgreens where you can chat with a real live pharmacist. So I've had some issues one time where you can go on their app, and it's not a bot, it's a live person. Love that. So that's been really cool where you can talk to someone. Now, the bots I think of that drive me nuts is like Verizon, where they like start with this sort of like catch-all where it's stupid questions. I'm like, dude, I just need to get in touch with an actual human body. So I don't know if that's what you're referring to, Deidre, but I can't stand either the ones where it's like filtering you, where it's just canned junk. So I think those stink. I don't mind the individual because once I've been able to chat with some people, like I've done it with like UBT and stuff with our bank. That's not too bad.
Right.
But it's those ones where they filter you in. It's like, I just need to get to a body. Like it just.
Everybody just needs to be like Amazon. Amazon to me has the best customer service to anything. I have had the best luck with Amazon. Like they refunded me like $96 because I was like, I'm not using my Audible stuff. They're like, oh, we're so sorry. And I literally talked to a human being. It took me maybe 15 minutes.
But what did you do that? Did you call them? Did you email them? How did you
first emailed them because I was like, hey, I'm getting charged for Audible services that I thought I canceled.
Sure.
Now I once upon a time thought I clicked the buy with one click, and then I ended up signing up for an Amazon Prime membership. And I was like, whoa.
So how did you get the resolution then to your Audible situation?
I mean, basically, I was like, hey, I have not been using Audible for 6 months. And they showed my account that, oh, you have not used it for 6 months. We're so sorry. You'll get funded back the $90.
Was it through the phone?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I started with an email, and then I called.
Okay.
Real quick, Bowen, I do think if people are going to use it and they are going to have a human behind it that you're talking about it, they should make that should be very clear.
Yes.
I mean, the more, it makes it a whole lot more, if you've got that, tout the heck out of it.
Yeah. Well, and when I've used it and had a good experience, it says, hi, this is Melissa. Can I help you today? Like it's actually someone having a conversation and it's very specified and anyway, but I've had a good experience from them. Do I chat with a chat bot and go through all the different layers? No. But if it's customer service and it's just a form that they can get a hold of you and make it convenient.
I agree with that.
Thanks for listening. Tune in next week to hear the rest of Jack's interview on Marketing Evolved.